Hello everybody, welcome to Virtuous Slate. So in this video, we will be discussing few questions on inclusive education or creating an inclusive school. Okay, so let's get started. These will be objective type questions. Okay, so question number 1 says, who is known as the father of inclusive education? Option number A is John Adam, B is Auguste Comte, C is Ovid de Crowley, or D is none of these. So, option number C, Ovid de Crowley is known as father of inclusive education. Okay. Question number 2 says, children with learning disability may have the following specific problems. Option number A, reading disability, B, writing disability, C, problem in comprehension, or D, all of these. So you have to basically tell that what will be the children with learning disability may have the following specific problems. You have to tell which option is correct for that. So before that, I'll just give you a few details. Reading disability is known as dyslexia. Okay. Whereas writing disability is called dysgraphia. And problem in comprehension is dysphasia. Okay, so reading disability, dyslexia, writing, dysgraphia, problem in comprehension, dysphasia. Okay, so these are the name of these disabilities. So of course, all these three are learning disabilities themselves. So the correct answer for this question will be option number D. All of these, A, B, C, all three are the problem or disability that a child with learning disability may have. Okay. Moving on to question number 3. The major type of speech disorders are, so their speech disorder is also a kind of a disability. In this also a child faces problem in his speaking or speech related problems are there. So option number A is articulation disorders, option number B is fluency disorders, C both A and B, and D none of these. So articulation disorder is problem in pronunciation. Okay, so the child faces problem in pronunciating some particular sound or alphabet. Okay, so that is articulation disorder. Fluency disorder means the child faces problem in speaking fluently. It can be like stuttering, stammering, okay, these kind of problems. So of course both A and B are major type of speech disorders, and the answer will be option number C, both A and B. Articulation disorder also and fluency disorder also. So question number 4 says, teaching aids like tailor frame, abacus, and mobility canes are used for A, hearing impaired children, B, blind children, C, mentally retarded children, or option number D, none of these. So all these abacus, mobility canes, these are used for children with visual disability. It's for blind children, children having problem like visually impaired children. Okay. These aids are excellent for making their teaching and learning process more interesting and a bit on an easier side. So question number 5 is match the following. Okay, so basically match the following. I've introduced this question here just to make it clear that impairment, disability and handicapped are 3 different terms, and to make sure that you are clear with this, because we often use impairment, disability and handicap interchangeably accordingly to the in the sentence. Okay, but these 3 words are different from each other, have different meaning and should be used in different context. Okay, so just to clear that, this match the following is kept here. Okay, option number A is impairment, B is disability, C is handicapped, and first option is functional, structural, and third is psychological. Okay, so before telling the answer, I will just give you a few detail about that. So impairment, disability and handicapped, as I told you, they are completely 3 different words with 3 different meaning. Okay, so impairment is like it's like hole in the air. Okay, there's a hole in your ear, or it's like some part of your body is missing, either by birth or like you face some accident, anything. Okay, so this is impairment, like some organ is missing or you have a hole in your ear, so this is impairment. For that we'll use the word impairment. Whereas disability is it's a functional limitation. Okay, like if there is an impairment, so you will face problem in doing some kind of activities, so that is disability. You're not completely able to do that thing, so you are disabled there. Okay, like due to impairment, person faces functional limitation, like not having not working properly, like you have hole in there, so you will face problem like not hearing properly. Okay, you will not be able to hear this like normal sounds, or even like not at all also, maybe the case can be. So that's disability. So impairment causes functional limitation, and that limitation is called disability. Clear? Now the third term is very interesting. It is handicap. Why it is interesting? Because often we think disability and handicap are same, but it is not. Handicapped is situational. A person is handicapped in one situation, in one surrounding, whereas the same person will not feel handicapped in the other situation or surrounding. For example, the child with artificial limb may be handicapped when competing against non-disabled children or person in a football match, or like in a 100-meter race. Okay, so he will feel handicapped there because all his other participants are non-disabled. They are very fit and fine, whereas he is missing a limb, or he's having an artificial limb. That can be the reason he's feeling handicapped among them. But if you place the same child with artificial limb in a classroom, like when he is studying in a classroom, he won't feel handicapped. There he will feel as a normal child. Clear? So that person who's feeling handicapped in one situation, in a football match, in a 100-meter race, that same child won't feel handicapped when he is studying among the normal students in a classroom. Okay, so that's handicap. It's situational, it's psychological. Okay, so that's the basic difference between impairment, disability and handicap. So let's come back to the question and match them. So as I told you, impairment is some kind of problem in the organ, missing or not properly grown up, like that. So we can go with structural. Okay, so impairment will match with structural. Okay, whereas disability, as I told you, due to impairment, there is certain kind of a functional limitation that a person faces. So it will be functional, and we are left with handicap is psychological. Okay, so just make these 3 points very clear for your exams. Question number 6 says the exceptional children are A. High IQ children, B. Gifted children, C. Creative children, or D. All of the above. So who among the following will be known as exceptional children? So of course high IQ children, gifted children and creative children, all of them can be called as exceptional children. Okay, so option number D will be the right answer, all of the above. Question number 7 says most frequently used peer tutoring models are option number A. Reciprocal peer tutoring, B. Cross-age peer tutoring, C. Class-wide peer tutoring, or D. All of the above. Okay, so these 3 all are peer tutoring models. Okay, so option number A is reciprocal reciprocal peer tutoring. In it, 2 or more students alternatively among each other, they just act as tutor and tutee. They alternate their roles accordingly. Okay, like one person is tutor and tutee in this session. In the other session, the tutor will get changed to tutee and the tutee will get changed to tutor. So the role will get reversed or alternate. Okay, so this is reciprocal peer tutoring. Whereas in B, that is cross-age peer tutoring, as the term itself says, like cross-age, it's older student are paired with younger student. That is, the older student will be tutor and the younger student will be tutee. Okay, so then the teaching session happens between them. That is cross-age. Option number C is class-wide peer tutoring. As the term is saying class-wide, it is dividing the entire class into groups of 2 or 5 students with different ability levels. Okay, like 2 to 5 students are there, and all these students have different ability levels. Okay, so correct answer is option number D, all of the above. Question number 8 says UN declared which year as the International Year of Disabled Person? Very important question. Okay, option number A is 1999, option number B is 1981, option number C is 1995, and D is none of the above. So International Year of Disabled Person is 1981. Okay, just remember it. IDEA, that is IDEA, stands for, you have to tell the full form of IDEA in inclusive education. Option number A is Indian Disability Education Act, B is International Disability Education Act, C is Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, and D is none of these. Okay, so IDEA stands for Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. That is option number C. Okay, question number 10 and the last question for this video will be is which educational body make curriculum for special education schools? So as we know, there are special schools, like schools for the special children, right? So the question says which body or which organization is responsible for making curriculum and all those, forming the structure of that syllabus and all these things for special schools. Okay, A is IED IES, that is Inclusive Education for Disabled at Secondary Stage. B is NCF 2005. C is RCI, Rehabilitation Council of India. And D is NCTE, National Council for Teacher Education. So correct answer for this question is option number C, RCI, Rehabilitation Council of India. 1992. In 1992 the act was formed, that is the RCI Act 1992. So RCI, Rehabilitation Council of India, makes curriculum and all those course structure, everything for the special schools. Okay, how the things will be formed or what kind of a structure to be made, for everything RCI is responsible. Okay, so this was all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.